That's a good thing.
I think we're about to be shut down.
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Kiwanians on Zoom. Welcome, Kiwanians in the room, and welcome, guests. It is terrific to see so many guests. I believe I stopped at every table that had a young demographic sitting at it, and I appreciate that experience. I'm Michael O'Brocta. It's my pleasure to be serving as club president of the largest civic organization in the Roanoke Valley and one of the largest of the 15,000 Kiwanis clubs in the world. The reason we have so many guests here, see previous comment, we're one of the largest Kiwanis clubs. We get to do a lot, and one of our favorite things to do is give away money. Thank you for helping us with that. On the way up to the podium now, to lead the introspection is J.C. Taylor, followed by Beth O'Brocta, who will lead the Pledge of Allegiance. Now, guests, today you are our feature. Today's meeting is about you. J.C., come on up now.
Good afternoon, fellow Kiwanians and guests. Now, Preston Tyler was scheduled for this today. And of course, at the last minute, he found out he has another obligation, which gave me my topic that I'm going to talk about today. And it is the right name. Are you aware the only thing you have complete control over is right now? The past, the right now, and the future. It's what you have control of is the right now. You can't catch a train that left yesterday, Kate. You can't eat a steak that's on the table for tomorrow. So what you have control of in your life is right now. Keep that in mind as you go through life. No matter what you have planned, what you control is the right now. There's a song that says, Lord, give me the strength to take one day at a time. I think she was saying right now.
Good afternoon. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. Please be seated. Thank you, J.C. Thank you, Beth. So, speaking of the right now, right now today is for me to present a permanent badge to two of our newest members. So the way this works, once you've applied and been accepted into this Kiwanis club, that I mentioned how big we were, once you've been applied and accepted, you're offered the opportunity to earn a permanent badge. The permanent badge is given to you once you go through a checklist of items. Every one of those checklist of items are there to help you engage quickly with the spirit and the activities in this club. So I'm now going to ask two new members to come up to receive their permanent badge. Matt Trantham and Beth O'Brocta, please join me at the microphone. We'll do all together. Matt, who comes to us from the Salvation Army, immediately upon joining this club, started showing up for meetings and supporting the many activities we undertake. Matt, you hit the ground running. Here is your permanent badge. Round of applause for Matt. And Beth, you joined this club 4 weeks ago, which is a pretty rapid rate to earn your permanent badge. Some of you in the audience might think that she might have been unduly influenced to work at that rate. That is not true. Beth is a self-starter. She took all the initiatives herself. She has jumped in innumerable volunteer activities already. Thank you for that, Beth. Now, Don. Thank you both. Thank you for that suggestion from the audience. For the guests, Beth is my wife. So. Point of clarification. All right, now, we are a large club. We do raise a lot of money. One of the ways we raise money is through our annual KPAD pancake breakfast. It's the largest breakfast in Roanoke. Coming up here now is Gene Bollendorf and Ben Spiker. It's the largest breakfast in Roanoke. We just held that breakfast as a fundraiser. I'm sure many of you were there. 3,000 people were there eating breakfast a couple Saturdays ago. Having said that, you know where the money goes. We turn around and give it away. Gene?
Well, I have some very exciting news, which some of you may have heard already, but others of you have not, and that is that we do have a new winner for our Star auction. So that is naming rights for the next year for the Roanoke Star, and that is Bauer Heating and Air. They bid $5,000 for that honor. And we're very excited to welcome them back to another year of the Star. We'll be having a ceremony for them later this summer. Michael Rockton and I dropped off a nice basket for them last week. You saw some photos, I think, in this week's newsletter as well. So that $5,000 will go toward our total fundraising goals for the pancake event and raffle and auction this year. We're very, very excited about that. Other housekeeping, I just want to remind everyone to continue to turn in money that you may have already collected. We won't be having weekly turn-ins and updates from here on out, but just make sure you get your money to John some way, somehow, so we can get a final tally. And we're still collecting our bills on that as well. So we won't have final numbers until June the 5th. That's going to be our big wrap-up event here at our regular meeting. We're going to give out awards on that day and also give you a final net for our fundraising efforts. Thank you so much to everyone who worked so hard. Thanks very much to Ben Spiker and Amy Carter for leading our ticket sales, and thank you very much to all the captains who worked so hard to get each club member participating in this year's event.
Thank you, Gene. Thank you, KPAD team. Looking forward to hearing the results of the wrap-up of the first Wednesday meeting in June. Now, joining me up here is Don Wilson. He is going to lead us in the induction of a new club member. Don?
Thank you, President Mike. My new nickname is Lefty. I can't wait to get on the mound. One of the kindest things we could do as a Kiwanian is to invite a friend, a coworker, a neighbor, family member, and share the cake, because we need lots of helping hands to make these service projects get pulled off, like our recent pancake. Because when we have new members, we get new ideas, and it strengthens the club and strengthens our community. And we just call that sharing a cake. So I'd like to invite Beth O'Rourke, who's going to introduce Jeff Vick to us. Jeff's being sponsored by Ken Briggs, but if Jeff and Beth would come forward, please. Up front, please. Well, Jeff, we welcome you and we're looking forward to working with you in the Kiwanis Club. You received a thorough orientation, I believe, and know what we expect of you. But before we induct you, let's have Beth tell us a little bit about you.
Well,
Beth?
I'm pleased.
Beth.
Thank you. Good. I'm pleased to introduce the new member, Jeff Vick, to you. Some may have known him earlier. He was at the prayer breakfast. He was at the pancake breakfast. So he's already jumped in and become very active. He's originally from Metairie, Louisiana. As a high school senior, he was awarded a Kiwanis scholarship by the Kiwanis Club in his hometown. So he's been a Kiwanian for many, many years. He used that Kiwanis scholarship to take him to Louisiana Tech University and then transferred to Texas Tech. Upon graduation, he was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, and during the Gulf War, he served as combat engineer platoon leader in Saudi Arabia, Iraq, and Kuwait. He earned his master's degree at Penn State University. After his military service, he worked in the Foreign Service for the Department of State for 25 years. He and his wife were in many, many interesting countries. You must ask him about this. In addition to English, he speaks Russian, Polish, and Spanish. And after retiring from the Foreign Service, he and his wife Barbara picked Roanoke for their permanent abode. He has one son. They have one son, Jason, who just graduated from JMU and lives in Harrisonburg. So, give a round of applause to Jeff.
Jeff, welcome. We're looking forward to working with you. We have a lot of service projects that we do. You've heard about them. And some of the service projects we do require some gloves. So I'm going to give this pair of gloves to you. But when I do that, I want you to think, when you put those gloves on, when you put your little finger in the glove, I want you to think about the big things we do for the less fortunate in our community. And our ring finger signifies the circle of friends that you're going to meet and make in the Kiwanis Club and through the projects that we do. Our middle finger stands above the other fingers on our hand, and that signifies that this club stands above other service organizations. You could have joined, but didn't. We're glad to have. Our index finger points the way to a better community through our service projects, through our fellowship. And when we're done with a service project, what do? Thumbs up, right? Okay. All right, so think about that when you put those gloves on. You're welcome. I've got a new member packet for you. It's got your name badge, your pin. Inside is a roster. Also some information about our 501c3 foundation. We hope that you'll support, because the foundation is very supportive of the community service budget of our club. There's also some information in there. We heard Beth got her permanent member badge. There's some information in there about what you need to do to get your permanent member badge. So welcome to the club. Let's all stand and put our fingers and hands together and welcome Jeff Vick. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations on joining us. Absolutely thrilled you're here. We're thrilled that you picked our club, considering all the other worthwhile choices that are out there. Now, I'm going to go quickly through the announcements because we want to reserve as much time as possible to honor our scholarship winners. Highlights from last week, Gene mentioned the K-Pad auction winner, Power Heating and Air. It's a terrific thing when an organization decides to take a lot of money out of their corporate budget and steer it toward our Kiwanis Club. In return, they will get a plaque with their name and corporate logo on it installed at the base of the Mill Mountain Star for 1 year, and they will benefit from a large media event, as Gene mentioned, we'll host over the summer. So, also this past week, we participated in the family service of Roanoke Valley car, truck, and bike show. We had a Kiwanis booth. That's one of our new outreach efforts. Thank you to the Kiwanians who staffed that booth. And Jill, we were in awe of how well that car show ran. Good for you. I'd like Jean to get a little applause for that. I mean, Jill. So, and almost as exciting as auctioning off a star, going to a car, truck, and bike show was our board meeting. We meet once a month, and at this particular meeting, we had a large number of guests. We encourage club members to come as guests to these board meetings to see how it goes. Our board is an operations board. They're not there because of their checkbook or their Rolodex. They're there because they run this club. Thank you, board members. When you read this week's newsletter, you'll read a highly informative and entertaining summary of this board meeting. Thank you, Bob Heiberman, for writing the summary that rhymes. Bob, where are you? Well done. So, coming up tonight, our book club meets over at the library. No membership meeting this week. That meets on schedule the following month. The Fun Day Committee. Fun Day Committee meets this week. Now, the Fun Day is a large community event that we run. This year it's on June 1st. We've partnered with Shiloh Baptist Church and others. There'll be more than 1,000 people attending Fun Day over in the Melrose neighborhood area. The people running this event could benefit from a few more club volunteers. So please see the Hartmans to do that. There might actually be sign-up sheets on your tables. Good. All right. Prayer Breakfast Committee. You had a really successful prayer breakfast recently. You're going to meet and have a wrap-up session. We appreciate how well that was run. In the future, the near future, on Saturday, where the weather forecast says sunny and warm. It doesn't, but that's okay. The weather forecast sunny and warm. We're going to run our annual Kids Fishing Day, where children from the West End Center are treated to a day of fishing and a lunch by our club. I understand they need a couple more volunteers. There may actually be sign-up sheets on your tables as well. Speaking of sign-up sheets, the Kiwanis Garden folks, right? Kiwanis Garden folks, right? We have a pollinator garden that's been installed in the Kiwanis Nature Park that's currently under construction. Well, the Kiwanis Pollinator Garden folks are starting their summer rotation of volunteers. You sign up for a week of time. You go over on a periodic basis during the week, pick a few weeds and water the garden. Take advantage of that. It's a nice thing to do. I think I've hit all of the announcements. If I've missed something, tell me and I'll address it at the end of the meeting. Now, announcements are over. I have one of my favorite things to do besides give away money, right? So listen to this. This is supposed to be witty and informative at the same time. Sometimes an inquiring mind just wants to know, why is the sky blue? How deep is the ocean? And can a Kiwanis Club member earn the Outreach Award more than once? Well, the answer to that last question is definitely yes. In this case, not only did this club member earn the award for the first time for creating our new corporate membership option, he is now earning an award for the second time for recruiting a new corporate member. Come up here. Hey. So, he's already got the ribbon, and he already has one outreach pin. He's now getting his second outreach pin. Now, Don, come over here and take this photograph. Give him applause. Corporate membership is a new option we have because increasingly companies in the Roanoke Valley are interested in becoming members. They can pick the traditional option of becoming an individual member. Joe or Jane Doe can join the club as an individual. Now they can pick the corporate option, which means not only can Jane Doe come as the primary member, anytime Jane is interested, she can have a different member of her organization come and experience the benefits of being part of our club. Good way to network. Nonprofits are equally qualified for this corporate membership. So, thank you, Keith. I hope that inspires more of you to take this outreach stuff and run with it. I'm now going to introduce, oh no, brag bucks? Do we have time for brag bucks? Oh, we do. Brag bucks. All you braggarts, come up here now. For $2 contribution, which goes to our Kiwanis Foundation, for $2 contribution, you will get 30 seconds to say something not controversial that we think is interesting. Please come up here now.
For my brag about today, I'm Jill Sluss, Chief Development Officer at Family Service of Roanoke Valley. For those of you who do not know me, I want to brag on President Mike. He has served on our event committee for 4 years. Amazing. This is our largest fundraiser of the year, the springtime. We do have another dinner in the fall, but at this RV Bike Farm Truck Show, it attracts more than 1,000 attendees annually. This year we had 135 vehicles, our largest year yet as far as the attendance goes, as far as the parking lots being full. So I want to thank President Mike. Goodness, he just does so much with the committee and also creates a fabulous video for the event as well. Done that several times for us. You can go to our Facebook page, Family Service of Roanoke Valley, and see that fantastic video. So I want to thank him so much for all that he's done for us.
Bob Rutherford, for Mike Bell and myself for Kids Fishing Day. This will be the 20 plus time that this has been done for the West End Center children. We expect 25 this time. Actually, there are no sign-up sheets. Mike and I are sitting back in that table. If anybody else like to volunteer, we always can use more fishing guides. We have everything else covered pretty well. And there is an article in this week's newsletter explaining more details about it in the location. Appreciate everybody that's already signed up. And if you have any family, friends, or relatives, who would be good at the guide kids fishing or elementary kids. This is the first time most of them fish. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Many folks will not know this, but this week is National Salvation Army Week. Back in 1954, President Dwight D. Eisenhower proclaimed National Salvation Army Week for the second week of May every year. And among Americans, he said the Salvation Army has long been a symbol of wholehearted dedication to the cause of human brotherhood. Their work has been a constant reminder to us all that each of us is a neighbor and kin to all Americans. Given freely of themselves, the men and women of the Salvation Army have won the respect of us all. Now, this being National Salvation Army Week, if you have nothing to do this weekend, on Saturday at 2 o'clock, if you want to know anything about a soldier's rally, the Salvation Army is hosting one at 2 o'clock at the Salvation Army. The brass band will be here in full force. The divisional commander of our region will be here as our speaker, and there's refreshments after. So you're invited, 2 o'clock, Salvation Army.
I'd like to brag on a young man that I've gotten to know well. He is a member of a confidential men's group that I'm also a part of. I've really enjoyed getting to know this young man. He's a native of Woodstock. He's a graduate of Roanoke College, and he also was in the inaugural program for Roanoke College's MBA program. He's a recent graduate of that. We would love to keep him in Roanoke. His specialty, if you will, is more on the financial side. So if anyone knows of anything that this young man might be interested in or can benefit from, please feel free to reach out to me and I'll make a connection. Very humble guy, wants to make his way through the world, and I'd love to figure out a way to help him do that. Thank you.
Thank you for the announcements. It's nice to know that after we volunteered at Kids Fishing Day, the timing is perfect to join Matt, accept his invitation at the Salvation Army event. So, braggarts, thank you very much for that. The featured program is now going to begin. Steve English is going to come up, who has been running our scholarship program very effectively for this past year. We're going to pay attention to everything he says and does.
Thank you, Mike. All right, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Kiwanis Scholarship Awards Luncheon. As Mike said, I'm Steve English. I'm chairman of the scholarship committee, but I have lots of help. So, today we'll honor 6 of Roanoke's top high school students. This is our hope for the future. Thank goodness. If you watch the news, it looks pretty depressing. You get to hear what these kids are doing. You'll have restored hope in humanity. First of all, we have a lot to get here today, and I'd like to introduce them and ask that they stand and recognize. So some of the tables are kind of numbered. So over at table 1, Emma Batty, who is joined by her parents, Brian and Heather. At table 2, Anna Plunkett, who's joined by her mother, Kirsten, and Mrs. Stoll, longtime school teacher in Pasadena. Table 3, we have Aiden McNulty, who's joined by William Fleming High School Principal Tracy Anderson, and Roanoke City's Chief Academic Officer, Archie Freeman. Table 4, we have Nevaeh Lambert, who's joined by Roanoke City School Superintendent, Dr. Berletta White, and William Fleming's College and Career Academic Advisor, Jeffrey Allgood, along with Pinnacle Financial Partners Area Manager, Randy Nicely. Table 5, we have Naylin Morales Gabriel, who's joined by her guest, Miriam Cornelis and Carla Lazo. And then at table 6, Natalie Pham, who's joined by her parents, Linda Lee and Peter Pham. Y'all help me welcome these guests here. Thank you. Y'all be seated. So the Kiwanis Club members, many of whom you've seen and heard from today, they've worked throughout the year to generate money through various fundraising activities that support a lot of great causes here in the Valley, including the high school scholarships we're going to award in just a few minutes today. This year, the award will total $16,000. We will give away 4 $2,000 scholarships, 1 $3,000 scholarship, and 1 $5,000 scholarship. The $5,000 scholarship is named the Franklin Scholarship in memory of Kiwanis member Stuart Franklin and his wife Margaret, who bequeathed under their wills a significant sum to the Roanoke Kiwanis. Our $3,000 scholarship is awarded in memory of Ian Lai. He was one of our scholarship winners back in 2006 as a representative of William Fleming High School, and tragically, he was one of the students that lost his life in the shootings at Virginia Tech the following April. Our scholarship selection process began back in January. We have the counselors from 7 area high schools where we sponsor a key club to advertise the availability of our scholarship, and the response was very positive. 8 members of our scholarship committee read all the applications and narrowed them down to our 6 recipients who are here today. Then another panel of 6 members of the scholarship committee interviewed these 6 scholarship winners and chose the ones to be designated as the Franklin and the Henley Award winners. I would like to ask all the scholarship committee members who are here today to stand as I read their names. Jackie Bledsoe, Betsy Bohannon, Jeannie Bollendorf, David Bowers, Judy Clark, David Barnum, Pegram Johnson, Dr. Reed Kessler, Lee Learman, Jenny Lee, John Montgomery, Joyce Montgomery, Stephanie Moon Reynolds, and Captain Matt Tranby. We can all give them a hand. Apologize if I miss anybody. I hope that called everybody. I do want to thank them for all the time they spent serving as table hosts today, readers of the applications, which is quite a process, and interviewers for the 6 finalists. Many of these committee members serve each year after year and devote their time to make an extremely difficult decision of choosing winners from this group of applicants because they're all worthy. It's a shame that we can't award to everyone. This year, we also have one area corporation that's assisting us to honor these students by financially sponsoring one of the scholarships. So a big thank you to Pinnacle Financial Partners and Randy Nicely, who will be presenting on their behalf in just a few minutes. All right, now I get to sit down and get on to the good part. It's time to meet our scholarship winners, which is why you're all here today, right? So each of the winners will be presented by a scholarship committee member who will give us a brief introduction of his or her student, and then each of our winners will tell us which college they'll be attending, their career thoughts at this point, describe school or community service project they participated in that has been the most meaningful to them and why. And we'll start with our own David Bowers introducing Nayland Roanoke and Gabriel.
Good afternoon, fellow Kiwanis. I'm pleased to introduce to you Nidaleen Morales Gabriel. As I do so, though, I want to take a moment or just a pause and say thank you to the Kiwanis. 54 years ago, I was awarded the Kiwanis Scholarship. And 3 years before that, my sister was. So from the Bowers family to Roanoke Kiwanis, we want to say thank you. It meant a lot to us in our early years. This nice young lady is Nidaleen. If I'm mispronouncing her name, I'll ask her to correct me. She is 18 and a senior, graduating senior at William Fleming High School. She's been on the honor roll at William Fleming from the 9th to the 12th grade, and it shows by her GPA, which is 4.2. She's here today with her godmother, Miriam Arnales. Thank you for being here, along with Nidaleen. And so I'm pleased to introduce to you. I did want to say one of the things, she was chosen to be the captain of her soccer team. That's a pretty good award. And she said that one of the things she likes to do is to hike because she likes to reach for the top. This young lady, I believe, will be reaching for the top. Please welcome and congratulate Nidaleen.
I plan to attend MBA and I want to study communication science and disorders. I want to do this to become a speech pathologist, and I think helping little ones with education and support in a different way is something that I really enjoy, especially since speech has been such a big part of my life. It's seen where my help in the church community, which has been really meaningful since they're the ones that allow me to use my bilingual talents to help others with the Spanish class and being able to communicate something that I think is really important to others. So I just want to say thank you again for this, and it'll really help me a lot. Thank you.
On behalf of Pinnacle Financial Partners, myself and our area manager, Randy Nicely, would like to present Madeline with a scholarship award of $2,000. Next, I'd like to ask Pegram Johnson to come up and introduce Annika Plummer.
Good afternoon. It is my pleasure to introduce Annika Plummer. She's a senior at Patrick Henry High School. Annika, at the start of our interviews, we asked each of the winners to describe themselves. And the first thing Annika said was she was a good leader. And I think you'll see from what I do next that she is a good leader. She was the president, or is the president, of the Honor Society at Patrick Henry. She's the president of the Noteworthy Club, which I wasn't familiar with, but the Noteworthy Club organizes fundraisers every month or so at school. And with the money they raise, they donate it to one of the Roanoke City elementary schools to buy musical instruments for the students at that elementary school, which I think is just a wonderful project. She's also the founder of club that she set up called Students Against Plastic Packaging. And these students who are in her club write to businesses and try to encourage them to use less plastic, whatever their product manufacturing is. She also founded a business of her own where she does Spanish tutoring and summer review sessions in Spanish. She was selected by Patrick Henry High School to be their ambassador to the Hugh O'Brien Youth Leadership Seminar, which is quite an honor. She's a flutist in the PH marching band. She's a member of the PH swim team, and her GPA is 4.48, which ranks her as 7th in the class of 377. Now, I would like to read something that was in one of her supporting letters from one of her teachers, which I thought really summarizes Annika. It says, what really sets Annika apart is her personality. She always has a smile on her face, is enthusiastic, and has such a positive attitude. She truly cares about others and strives every day to make the world a better place. She is an inspiration not just to her peers, but to her teachers as well. She is honestly a bright ray of sunshine in my day, every day. Annika.
Thank you, everyone. I'm really grateful for this opportunity. Again, my name is Monica. I plan to attend the College of William and Mary and study international relations and environmental policy. One of the service projects that has meant a lot to me was this past spring. I led the Honor Society in organizing a cleanup. Over 4 weeks, the entire membership students went out and cleaned up 2 parks, Fenton Park and Fishburne Park, and several parts of the Greenway, and got a lot of trash. So it was rewarding to see how much of a difference we could make. Thank you.
On behalf of Roanoke Kiwanis, we'd like to present you with a scholarship award of $2,000. Next, I'll ask Jackie Bledsoe to introduce Aiden McNulty.
Good afternoon. It's really a pleasure to interview these young people. It is a disclosure of how intelligent, how focused they are. Not many young people know what they want to do with their lives. These kids do. So I'd like to introduce you to Aiden McNulty. Aiden is a graduate of William Glenn Academy Business School. He is number one in a class of 377, which makes him the Victorian. He has a GPA of 4.3. I don't think any of them had anything less than that was all there was when I went to school. In addition to his academic success, Aiden has found time for music. He plays the bass guitar. He's also found time for work. He's been a sales associate at Old Navy for 9 months. And he's also found time for science projects. For 2 years in a row, he has been number one in the Western Virginia Regional Science Fair. I think it's amazing to find time to do something that's complicated in addition to his academic success. And he also has received the Leanne Hindley Awards for Creativity and Character. He also finds time, he visits middle school and advocates for the governor's school to encourage young people to apply. I think that is important. And at church, he encourages friends to join or at least attend church. And it's my honor and my pleasure to introduce Aiden and let him tell you what his goals are for the future.
Hi, my name is Aiden McNulty, and I'm planning on attending Liberty University, studying aviation to become a pilot one day for an airline. A community service project that has meant a lot to me is I've been in various churches through my life, but through my churches, I have done many community service activities, like manning soup kitchens and us going to homeless shelters and preaching to the people there, and volunteering at daycares to help watch children that, their parents can't afford daycare and they need someone to help watch their children. And through all of these opportunities through my church, I've met a lot of unique and diverse people, and it's an honor to have been able to experience those things through my community. And it's part of that Christian community that inspired me to go to Liberty University.
Scholarship with that. I've got double or triple duty today, so I'm going to introduce Nevaeh Lambert. I have to say I get a little bit more interaction with most of the students than the rest of the committee does, because I collect the applications, and sometimes there's a little bit of back and forth there. But it's the best part is when we get to meet them in person, which we did a couple of weeks ago. All the 6 finalists that are here today come in for a half-hour interview. And honestly, I could sit and listen to talk to Nevaeh or the rest of them for hours, because I joked a little bit before about them instilling some hope for the future, but if you listen to these kids, it really does. Nevaeh is very focused, ready at a very young age, and she has a very, very clear path in the future, and that seems to be grounded in the fact that she wants to help others, which is a very important thing to me, and I hope it is to all the kids here today. Pretty soon Nevaeh is going to be graduating from William Fleming High School. She has a super impressive resume already, outstanding grades, GPA. Participation in multiple clubs, including Key Club, lots of community service. She's very active with her church and has been working since she turned 16. She received very complimentary letters of recommendation from two of our high school teachers, and then we got four of them, they were all very complimentary. Now she's going to tell you a little bit more about her plans for the future.
Hi, thank you, everyone. I plan to attend UVA where I plan to study forensic psychology, and hopefully afterwards I'll end up with the FBI. A service project that has meant a lot to me was through my club DECA. I was able to volunteer at the Roanoke Special Olympics hosted by Roanoke Clubbing. It was truly amazing to see where everyone could be a champion, regardless of who they are or where they've been. Everyone was a winner. Thank you.
Brandon wants to present you with a scholarship. Next, gonna have Captain Matt Grant come up and introduce Natalie Payne.
It's certainly been a joy to join this scholarship committee and to go through this process with everyone for the first time. I was super impressed with all of the applicants and all the answers they gave. We have some very bright and good students that are going to make excellent future Kiwanis. So Natalie is one who I said I need to be at her table. I loved her application. I loved a lot of the answers that she gave. She is a senior at William Fleming High School. Her parents, Peter and Linda, have joined us here today. The unique thing about Natalie is she has a sibling that was also a recipient of a scholarship through Kiwanis, so it runs in the family, which is great. She has a 4.3 GPA. She has been the Key Club president. She is a wonderful volunteer and spends a lot of her time giving back. She is an AP scholar, and she's been a cashier at Macy's. And given the things that she shared in the questions and answers that she gave, she has an incredibly bright future. And so I'm so happy to introduce Natalie Fant.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm not the best public speaker, so I have a paper with me today, so I hope everyone can bear with me. My name is Natalie Pham, and I'm a first-generation student attending Virginia Tech for engineering. I plan to become a biomedical engineer and use my degree to develop technology in medicine and create devices such as prosthetics, artificial organs, and medical simulations. And I also help to help underfunded countries with more accessibility to medical technology and intensive care. With the honor of being president of my school's Key Club, I am very proud to have helped the community in many ways. Most notably, I've helped create and organize 2 committees at my school. The Food Drive Committee, where we raised almost 300 pounds of food donated to Feeding Southwest Virginia, and the Street Cleanup Committee, where our members and I clean up litter and non-degradable waste on streets nearby our school. And of course, these committees couldn't be possible without our wonderful members in our club. So they're just young, caring students that love to help the community just as I do. And lastly, I'd like to thank again the Kiwanis Club and the Scholarship Committee for awarding me the scholarship. It is truly incredible to be a recipient, and I'm so grateful. Thank you.
At this point, I'd like to award Natalie the NY scholarship in the amount of $3,000. And now I'm going to ask Dr. Reed Kessler to introduce Emma Back.
So thank you, Steve. It is an overused phrase to say that it is my privilege to introduce Emma as one of our scholarship winners. It is, however, my sincerest statement that it is a privilege to be here doing this. You know, some of you know, I'm a college basketball fan, and I'm glad to see Duke signing up another group of five-star athletes. But I'm as guilty as anyone else of overemphasizing young men and women who play games in high school and not emphasizing enough high school graduates who have made a record of academics and community service. If there were a list of five-star academic and community service recruits in the state of Virginia, Emma Batty would be on the list. Right. Academically, she is in the governor's school with a home base at Patrick Henry. Somebody told me some time ago that she had straight A's throughout her entire high school career. I have over the weekend had a chance to review her transcript. That is something of an error. A couple of years ago, she received a grade of pass or P in driver's education. Otherwise, she's made straight A's. And her course selection has been staggeringly impressive. There's nothing on there to suggest introduction to subtraction or something like that. Her current course load here as a senior has included AP, advanced placement literature, advanced placement government, advanced placement psychology, advanced placement statistics, advanced placement calculus, advanced placement chemistry, and concert orchestra. Her high school GPA is, as these other candidates in a similar range, 4.45. She's primarily a science math person. This interest in science has led her to have an opportunity to work with people at the Fralin Biomedical Research Institution, where she's been involved in research, looking at the impact of exercises on mitochondrial activity in the brain. Now, I went out and walked 3 miles this morning with one of my friends, and I am hopeful that her research is going to show that continued exercise in people growing older will activate their brain mitochondria and delay the onset of memory loss. Emma has won multiple awards in science fair projects at the Roanoke City level, Southwest Virginia level, and even an award at the state level. She is a 4-year A-level, that is varsity, member of the Scholastic Bowl team and frequently serves as the captain. Now, if you're wondering if she's an overachieving, egocentric book nerd, you would be wrong. She is a 4-year member of the PH Concert Orchestra. She's a violinist. Currently, her position is the principal second violinist. She's also a 4-year member of the PH soccer team. A couple of years, last year maybe, she was the leading scorer on the team. She's not one of the bench warmers. She's an involved, dynamic participant. She has an extensive list of volunteer activities. Primarily, she has an extensive list of volunteer activities with a whole variety of service organizations throughout the valley. The two that she seems to have spent the most time volunteering with are programs related to introducing youth to soccer and activities at the Raleigh Court United Methodist Church. You know, I'm convinced that Emma could do about anything she wanted to do. As a personal education vet, I spent about an hour or two back on Martin Luther King Day at the Ram House here, sitting next to Emma while we were peeling potatoes. And she is a damn good potato peeler. Seriously, I could go on and on here, but in order to bring this introduction to a conclusion, like Pegram, I'm going to quote a couple of sentences from one of the letters that the scholarship committee received with her application. And this is what it says. It says, beyond all these superlatives, this letter had come with a list of superlatives. One of Emma's greatest traits, however, is her strength of character. Amid academic success and recognition, she remains humble and respectful of others, demonstrating an exceptional sense of citizenship and service. She acts as a positive force within her school. Her commitment to doing the right thing and serving others inspires peers and adults alike. What else could I possibly say? It's my pleasure, again, my sincerest pleasure, to introduce this year's Kiwanis Franklin Scholarship winner, Emma Batty.
Good afternoon. I want to thank everyone here for this great opportunity. So, in the fall, I plan on attending Washington and Lee University, studying neuroscience and biochemistry on the pre-medicine track, in my hopes of become a doctor. The community project that's been the most meaningful to me throughout this past year has been being a student ambassador with the partnership for health science careers, where I act as a liaison between students and practicing professionals to try to find students opportunities in the area of interest in health science careers. And just this past weekend, we all volunteered at the Eagle Rock Science Fun Festival, where we got young children excited in science careers. Thank you very much.
I'll tell you the cool award and the Stewart and Margaret Franklin $5,000 scholarship. Well, that pretty much wrapped up our show, and so we're going to give you a few minutes back. I'll turn the gavel back over here to Mike in just a second. I would like to ask that today's scholarship recipients please stick around for a minute so we can take some pictures. We want to thank everybody again for joining us today, especially all of our guests. Big thanks again to everyone who served on the committee. It's a time-consuming job, especially to read all the applications. Big thanks to the counselors. I told Jeffrey Alden before, he's the rock star of the counselors. I don't know what system he has in place at his school. The other schools need to figure it out. He has more applications every year. They are always 100% complete. And as you see today, we had 4 of the winners came from the school, and all of the winners came from Roanoke City. So big shout out to it's a shame that everybody that applies doesn't get something, because they are all super deserving. We do have to come up with a ranking system. So, so that does conclude our program today. I'm going to turn it back over to Mike.
Well done. Well done, students. Well done, scholarship committee, and well done, Steve. Thank you. Thank you. I have a few announcements that have been passed to me to make before the meeting ends. Jean Bollendorf was up here. She ran our successful KPAD fundraiser this year. She's interested in any feedback that you may have for her. Please see her separately and give her that information. By the way, next Wednesday, during my absence, Jean will be running this meeting. Now that deserves some applause. Also, next Wednesday, we have designated that as Young Professionals Day. Xavier Duckett from Hubble Hustle will speak to us. We are making a special effort to reach out to people we know who fit the definition of young professionals to come attend that presentation. Please help me with that goal by inviting people next week. Lastly, many of you were taking photographs today. What a worthwhile event to take photographs of. In addition to your photographs, I want you to know that this meeting has been recorded. It will be posted on our Kiwanis YouTube page, and you can find a link to that YouTube page on our Kiwanis website. So guests and others, feel free to replay the recording of what went on here today. And with that, the meeting is adjourned. Steve, good job.
Thank you. Sorry.
John has a comment for you.
Okay.